If potty training feels completely stuck, it's probably because you're experiencing one of these 6 mistakes. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what not to do during potty training your toddler. Plus, at the end of each what not to do, I'm going to tell you what to do instead. I've got you. Don't worry. My name is Andrea Olson. I'm an infant potty training and potty training expert and a mom of 6. Yes, you heard that right, 6. So the first mistake is asking if they need to go. During potty training, this puts the decision on them when they don't really know their body, their signals, what's going on down there yet. It creates power struggles, and it can even delay the potty learning that's supposed to be happening. Instead, I advise parents to just take the lead and move the child to the potty when they see something starting, when they see a pee or poop starting, instead of asking, we see when they are actually going. The second mistake, things to not do during potty training, is prompting them. I have a 3-phase process, and in the first phase, the second phase, no prompting is allowed. In the third phase, we might do a little, and definitely when we're going for independence, we want to prompt because, hey, you need to pee before we go on this long road trip is a perfectly fine prompt. Prompting them during the training, though, is a bad thing. It teaches them to rely on you. So we're teaching them how to get themselves to the potty, not how to get mommy or daddy to help them get to the potty, because that means you're intrinsically trapped in this process forever. And that sounds like the Twilight Zone. We will prompt after the training is done, like I said, but during this training process, we want them to realize what's going on and to take action about that on their own. And that requires us giving them the space to learn that. So what do we do instead of prompting? Well, we wait until they start going and we move them to the potty then. And in phases 2 and 3, when we start to do outings in my potty training process, we wait till we've caught a pee in the potty through that method and then go on our outing. So we really don't want to prompt at all during this process. So if you want to potty train the right way the first or 5th time, just grab my book. The link is in the description. We see completion in an average of 7 days or less. Okay, let's go on to number 3. During potty training, do not use sticker charts or bribes, or like food coloring to put in your toilet. Maybe you could use a Cheerio to practice aiming with your little boy, but no. We're not going to extrinsically motivate our children to do something that is an internal, personal, private process. Resistance can be caused by rewards. It can backfire later, and then they're like, I am not going unless you give me that Skittle. Instead of focusing on skill building, they are focusing on external motivation, bribes, rewards, things like that. So what to do instead? I recommend parents just be matter of fact, use fewer words, and just respond appropriately, like, yeah, you did it. You put your pee in the potty. We want to be very neutral and very unemotional about that, and just let potty time be a normal part of life. The 4th thing not to do during potty training is keeping diapers around just in case, or God forbid, going back to them. Toddlers rely on clear expectations and consistency, not mixed signals. If you've got a kid who's totally dysregulated all the time and wild and like not listening and all this stuff, then maybe it's time that we look at ourselves and how are we contributing to this? When we do things like keeping diapers stashed just because we might need to go back to them, or even saying during potty training, I'm going to put you back in a diaper if you don't go in the potty, that undermines the process and confuses them. And yeah, we all do that. We will try anything, the stick, the carrot, manipulation, whatever we can do to get our toddlers to do something when we are feeling dysregulated ourselves. So here's what to do instead of keeping the diapers around just in case. Oh, and by the way, I do want to mention during nights and naps, which I have a deep dive course on as well. I'll link to it below. During those times, you can still use diapers during potty training. It's optional to do it with daytime, and nighttime really relies on a lot of different factors than daytime. I'm talking about keeping daytime diapers around or going back to them. What would you do if you could never buy another diaper? We faced that recently, right? What would you do? You would figure out a way to make this work. So I want you to be in that mindset of just making this work. So here's what to do instead of keeping the diapers around for just in case or going back to them. We want to ditch daytime diapers completely from day 1 of the toilet training and just stay consistent even during setbacks. My book does currently come with help for my certified coaches, and we always have people coming in there just like needing a little pep talk. We're there for you. Number 5, this mistake that you should not do during potty training is ignoring or missing the signs of constipation. 99.9% of the time, potty training resistance or potty training issues are caused by the secret thing this thing that's going on behind the scenes that we don't realize until later. That if our children are constipated, they're going to, here are some of the signs for it, right? We're gonna have like drier poops that are harder to get out. They're bigger, they're more ball shaped, like a bunch of clumps of grapes stuffed together, or like little deer poop pellets that come up, pop, 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 pop. They're ball shaped and small. That means they're constipated. Obviously pushing and pushing with nothing coming out. Being dysregulated and fussy and whiny and you just can't quite figure out why usually means that they've got a poop and they're just like either afraid to let it out because they're only used to doing it in a diaper, or maybe it's come out hard one time and they're afraid to do it. This has happened with my kids, and I potty trained them all from birth. It can happen to any kid. Another sign of constipation is not letting a full pee out because they're afraid they'll poop too. So they're just basically doing little trickles throughout the day and maybe having a lot of accidents. That's another sign. No poop for more than 24 hours, obviously. When you're potty training with my method, we could have no poop for a couple of days, and that's pretty normal. But ignoring or missing these signs or just not being aware of them or how to fix them can cause resistance. It can cause fear. It can cause backtracking. It is really one of the biggest reasons, hidden reasons, that potty training fails. So instead, I watch for the signs that I just listed out for you, and I fix it and nip it in the bud early with hydration, diet changes, support. Our coaches know how to deal with constipation in our support groups for book owners. I would not go to Miralax. You can do some research. Aviva Romm has some great information about Miralax and its overuse, and doesn't even have like guidelines for dosages for kids. So it's kind of a scary thing for some parents. But we can fix this with hydration and diet, with coconut oils, good fats, things like that. I also actually have a course on constipation. I'll link to it below in case you want that. But ignoring that can be a big no-no during potty training. And then number 6, not moving on when your child clicks. So in between all the phases of my potty training process, there's something where the child shifts in awareness to getting it and you notice it. So some parents we've noticed in our support group, like they'll make their child prove it to them another time. Wait, did I really see you just express awareness about this part of the process? And oh no, you need to do it again. And let's have you do it again. Let's just make extra double sure, do it again. The process stalls out. The kid loses interest because this is dragging on. They've already demonstrated that they get it, and you, the parent, are holding them back because you don't trust the process. So this leads to power struggles. This leads to regression. It leads to the process stalling out. And you're just like, I've been potty training for a month. Like, comment below if that's you. And it's just not working. It's usually because of that. Instead, I recommend having a plan, trusting the click, moving forward when you see it, moving forward through the phases of the plan. And it's in a swift manner. We're not going to drag it out. And just getting her done. And if you are in a 1-month stall out, just start the potty training process completely over and do it with that in mind. For more videos like this, click here.